Springtime lawn fertilizers, folks. What are they? What do they accomplish? Are they necessary? That's what we're going to address today. One of the things that stemmed this topic for me was my recent venture from exclusively DIY content to something that's a little bit more broad and includes a little bit more of the professional world as well. Recently, in case you guys don't know, I became licensed to offer spraying for hire in my lawn care business. That's what I've been doing for the last 2 years. The pro world and the DIY world are obviously night and day, but with that being said, there are some similarities we can take and apply to our lawn care programs, as they pretty much address a lot of the same needs, just for different people. Really what this is my idea of reaching out to a different majority who has been there for quite a while on this channel, while still talking to my existing folks that have been around for a while who could probably learn something from this. So let's talk about lawn fertilizers in the springtime. What are they? What do they accomplish? Are they necessary? When you're applying a spring lawn fertilizer, you're going to accomplish one of two things. Number one, you're either going to continue the push of what you did the year prior, or if you're just starting in your lawn care venture in the springtime, which is a common trend in the lawn care industry, you are going to be bringing your lawn out of a funk that it has been in for a while, distress and neglect. Once you figure out what it is you're trying to accomplish, whether you're carrying something on or starting your lawn care journey for the very first time, that is going to determine a lot of factors that, believe it or not, overlap in DIY and pro. So first, let's talk about a new lawn, because that's a lot of people with lawn care. You come out, you do an application in the spring, and most likely, depending on who you are, you probably won't do much after that. So springtime is your time to attack. Now, is that ideal? Not really, but is it going to accomplish a little bit for you? Yes, it will, for the vast majority. So if you've never applied anything to your lawn before, getting that starter fertilizer in there, your NPK as we talk about, NPK, you'll be okay. That's going to address all of the needs that the lawn hasn't had in a while. The basic needs, that is. It's going to give the lawn what it needs to jumpstart, start growing, and look good in what I would consider to be the most aggressive growth period out there. You're addressing the lawn at that time, you're waking it up, you're allowing it to grow, you're allowing it to thicken. Now, those of you who've been doing this for a while, maybe you just got done with your previous year, your previous few years of feeding your lawn regularly, and at this point, you don't really need all the nutrients. You get your nitrogen for the top growth, you get your potassium for overall plant health. All you really need for a continuation fertilizer. Now, before I can answer whether or not you need this application, I want to go ahead and address what I mean by the winter fertilizers. One of the things we've talked about on this channel quite a bit is Winterizer fertilizers, right? Once you get to the fall time, you apply one last bonus round of fertilizer. We do this both in the pro world and in the DIY world. The idea being is when you apply a Winterizer fertilizer, it's not going to work in the now, it's going to work in the later, which in this case would be the now, springtime. You apply it at wintertime, you apply it heading into winter, the nutrients are stored up, and then by the time warmer temperatures return in the spring, those nutrients are released and the results will start to show. So knowing that process, do we really need a spring fertilizer to complement it? As someone who's been doing this professionally for the last 3 years, there are really 3 different categories out there when it comes to lawns, right? You have your high maintenance lawns that are the deepest, darkest, greenest, thickest lawns on the block. Those are a lot of your DIYers. Those are a lot of your people who may not do it themselves. They have the most comprehensive program that their spray guy has to offer, and as a result, their grass looks thick and green year-round, whether it's being irrigated or not, because it's getting those treatments for those specific times. Depending on where you live, this middle category can be a little bit different, but for us, the way it goes is, in the middle category, maybe I don't need the best lawn, but I definitely want it to look better than average. We're only addressing the lawn during the growth periods. 2 applications in spring, 2 in fall, and nothing in the summer when it's not growing. And then the last one is what I would consider to be your average one and done. This is where a lot of people come in the springtime, they put down one application, and they're pretty much done for the rest of the year. If that's the case, I would say a starter fertilizer, a spring lawn fertilizer application is good for you. Whereas if you fall into that middle category, I would say you really don't need it, right? Because if you're one who does a lot of your fertilizing in the fall, which for cool season grass is a good thing to do because that's when those nutrients are going to be stored, honestly, most effectively utilized because of the cooler temperatures, then you really don't need to do that spring lawn fertilizer if you don't want to. It's really a matter of, is it in my budget and do I want to go the extra mile? Which brings me to the last category. If you are comprehensive 6-step, you have the best looking lawn on the block, then maybe do both if it's in your budget. That's what I would say with regards to your spring lawn fertilizers and your starter fertilizers, which go down in conjunction with your crabgrass pre-emergence. And believe it or not, the timing on that doesn't matter as well. To see what I'm talking about, I recommend you check out this video right here.